Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be going through a pumpkin carving stream that I did, but I ended up speeding it up by 16 times, so it's going to be fast. So at first, there's an image that I show the camera, which is the design that I decided to do for this entire project. And I was talking about some glow stick ideas that I had, which will end up coming back later on. So I had to step away for a little bit to get some tools, but came back and I started to look at the pumpkin. I saw that there's two divots, so that's where I'm going to be drawing my face. And I start drawing out the design from the picture itself just to get it on there because I like to see what it will look like in reference to all that before I start cutting anything. I know it wipes away, but who cares? So the shaded in areas, those are areas that I don't want to completely cut out. They're areas that I want to do half cuts for. That way we get that effect where it's not completely glowing through, but it looks more shaded. So here I start to puncture the bottom and cut out the bottom of the pumpkin because later on it's easier to get the candles in. And I saw that one time online. And I was like, okay, cool. I tried to scrape with the orange spoon earlier, but it sucked. So I switched to this metal spoon that I had, and it's so much better. Honestly, the tools that you can buy at the store, while the cutting tools are great, the spoon really sucks. So yeah, I got all the guts out, made sure it was nice and hollow, and I brought this back up, put the bottom on, and then I started shading in the teeth because I forgot to say that in earlier. And then I just stabbed everywhere that I planned on cutting. So then I started going in with the large saw, I guess, a pumpkin slicer thing. I don't know. I it was weird, but then I started going to the eyes and making sure I wasn't cutting through that shaded region. Um, but it was a little clunky with the fact that I was using the larger one, so I switched to the smaller one to do the in cut for the eye. And then I realized that things are going to be a lot easier if I just use the smaller one for these little minute details. So I switched to the smaller one for the eyeballs and continued to cut out the left side. Got all the little divots around that small area done and half cut. Switched to the eyebrow and decided to just cut that out completely, which went pretty smoothly. This was probably the hardest part. I switched to the nose after that, and it was difficult because I didn't want to make any mistakes. It's hard if you don't go in at the right angle because you could end up breaking through at the back. So I had to be very careful. Then I started going to the mouth, which I ended up making a mistake here. I should have gone in with the smaller one and outlined the teeth so that later on it would have been easy to cut them out, or at least do that. But I got rid of all the support, and so if you look carefully, you can see that the pumpkin's kind of going in a little bit as I carve in, which you don't want. You could accidentally hurt your pumpkin and ruin your entire project. Um, but it went smoothly for me, so I ended up finishing cutting out all the stuff and doing the half cuts on the teeth. I started with the right side, and then the smaller ones were actually super easy. I could just slice right up through them and then just cut the top. And then I decided that the mouth was not completely level, so I just started to do some detail work, cutting it all across. And yeah, all I had to do then was finish wiping off the pumpkin. So I started doing a project with the glow sticks where I was trying to get the innards out and make it glow. It did not work. I did mix them properly, but like when you apply to the pumpkin, it is so thin a layer that it just didn't work. And then I ended up pouring it in afterwards, which just it wasn't great. It was a mess. But yeah, so if you ever want to see more pumpkin carving videos, leave comments down below and just enjoy watching me mess around with this. Always be careful if you're messing around with glow sticks, by the way, in this case, because that middle tube is glass and you could get slivers in your fingers. Don't do what I did. Make sure you wear gloves. But yeah, after this, the stream kind of cut off, and that was how the entire thing went. So yeah, thank you for watching.